Hi, and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create these beautiful granite inspired coasters. What you'll need is a top coat, 4x4 tiles, and your alcohol inks. I'm using Stream, Wild Plum, and Butterscotch from Ranger. You're going to need your alcohol sponge applicator. You're going to need a few pieces of foam or cork, a hot glue gun, and I also suggest a pair of gloves. Let's get started. First step is to make sure that your 4x4 pieces of tile are completely clean. I use a damp paper towel, and you just want to make sure to get all the dust and dirt off of them. Now for the fun part. What you're going to need is your applicator, and you can find these at any craft store, and usually they're around $5.99, and they always come with the felt tips. And if you already own the stamp, all you need to do is buy an 8.5 by 11 sheet of felt and just cut it to size. Now I use gloves just because alcohol ink does stain your fingers. It pretty much stains everything. But I just keep this to protect my fingers and my nails, but they're optional, of course. Okay, the first thing I suggest doing is grabbing your alcohol inks, and mine are by Ranger. And I'm trying to show you the colors here, but the camera didn't really focus very well. But this is Butterscotch, and it's a yellowish color. This is Wild Plum, and it's a purple color, obviously. Very pretty purple, by the way. And this one is Stream, which is a beautiful bright blue color. Okay, go ahead and grab your applicator, and I suggest taking the tops off of the alcohol inks. It just makes it easier while you're working. There's many different ways to use alcohol inks. However, in order to get the granite inspired look, you're going to put your alcohol ink directly onto the ink pad. You're just going to dot it around. There's no rhyme or reason. Just try to get it spread out throughout the whole ink pad. And you want to do this with all the colors that you're using. You're not limited to 3. This is just the look that I came up with, but you can use as many as 7 if you want, or more. Once you've applied your alcohol ink to your applicator, you want to go ahead and start to stamp your tiles. I suggest going in different directions. This just ends up with the best effect. This is what it's going to look like when you first start. It's almost as if you wrote with a marker on a piece of paper and the paper got wet and the ink spread. Basically the same thing goes on with this. The more you stamp it, the smaller the detail, the more it will start to look like granite. Once you start to notice that your alcohol ink is starting to wear off, you can go ahead and apply more, or continue working with the amount that you have and just create a different look. If you start to notice that you have more of one color than the other, you can just go ahead and add that one color. Or if you notice, you know what, I think I like more blue, you can add more blue, and it won't mess up your patterns. This is what my tile looks like. And you can always add more if you want. Here's a close-up of me doing a tile, just so you guys can see actually how the ink spreads. You don't have to use another felt pad if you don't want to. It's completely up to you. I'm showing you here that you can do it all in one line if you want. However, you do have to start changing it up, and you'll see how the alcohol ink starts to spread, and also when I start going over it multiple times, how it starts to get smaller. As you can see here, some of the around the edges are larger, and you can leave it like that too if you want to give it a more tie-dye look. But as you can see, the more I go over it, the smaller the little circles get. And this gives it more of that granite look effect. And here's a quick close-up of what it looks like. Second to last step, you're going to need your top coat or your glaze coat. And I put my tiles on top of these wooden pieces just so that they wouldn't stick to the bag that I taped to the floor. And this also doesn't make it have, sometimes when you spray paint something, you have like that weird, I don't know, like thin layer. This doesn't, allow that to happen. And it also gives you better range to do the sides of your tile pieces. What you're going to need now, and this is the final step, is your tiles. You're going to need a hot glue gun. You're also going to need a sharp pair of scissors. And you're also going to need either some kind of foam or cork, which you can buy at any hobby store. I'm choosing the foam, and I'm going to use 3 different colors for mine, but for the purpose of the video, I'm going to show you the one using this purple color. And these are the tiles, and I added a little more blue and a little more purple to it just to give it this effect. And that's the fun thing about it. You can play and add as many colors as you want and keep adding colors till you get the effect that you really are looking for. The foam that I buy comes in this size, so I mean, it's just what I use. The way I do it is I just put the tile on the corners and use the corners as my base. It's less for me to cut. And I just go ahead and I add hot glue to the rim pretty much all the way around. I do parts of it first, like I'll do one whole piece first and then I'll add more glue to the sides just because the hot glue does tend to dry fairly quickly. Like I just said, the hot glue does tend to dry fairly quickly, so you want to make sure to add as much pressure as fast as possible just to make sure that it actually adheres to the foam. Then what I do is just flip it over and I continue adding the hot glue to the rest of the tile piece. And of course, always add pressure. It's more secure. It glues the foam or the cork more securely to the tile. And last but not least is just cutting the foam to fit the tile. I like to hold the tile at a sort of like an angle and then use the scissors as an angle too. I feel like it gets it closer to the edge, and that way when it's laying flat you don't see the foam underneath it. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. And if you guys have any requests on any video or any DIY that you would like to see, let me know down in the comments below and I'll do my best to try to do the research and figure that video out and film it for you. Thank you so much and have a great day.